Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 5 here for the holiday event on Greengrass Isle. We should be having a pretty fantastic time today. We're going to start off with 5 diamonds, so always great. And 17,524 sneaky snacking. Not too bad. Let's see. We did not get that many sleep points because I did not sleep quite as long as I should have. Had a little bit of an early day today. Christmas is starting early this year. It's going to be a busy weekend. So we got 96 sleep points. That puts us at 16,143. Not too bad. Not too bad. We will definitely have our sleep points by the end of the month like we want. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report and see what is up today. I did get to Master 7 before I went to sleep last night, so it should be a very interesting session 146. Which, speaking of 146, I think today might be episode 100. So we've been at it quite a while. Trying to remember exactly when it started. I think it was at the beginning of September. So we've been at it a while. Put out nearly daily content. So it's been a pretty fun ride. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Actually, to go with episode 100, only about 50% of my viewers are subscribed. So if you would hit that subscribe button, help me get up to my next goal of 250. We're not too far off. Right about 60 people is all we need. So we get about 200 something views every day. So if just a few of you guys hit that subscribe button, we can definitely hit that 250 goal and move on to the next step of this journey. But speaking of the next step, we got about 13% dozing, 39% snoozing, and 48% slumbering. Not bad, but it's definitely going to be a slumbering sleep type, which again, since it's the event, does not matter. So hopefully we can break, let's see, we got Master 7, at least 40 million would be nice. Almost 38.3 million, not too bad. Half 1 stars and half 2 stars, so they should all be newer sleep styles for the most part. I do see a brand new one up there in the top right corner. That's pretty good. That's one I do need for the team. Need a good one. All right, so we got 7 old sleep styles, so not as many new as I was thinking we were going to have. We have a Graveler, a Larvitar, a Wynot, a Spheal, another Spheal, a Bellsprout, and a Metapod. Metapod's been showing up quite a lot this event. But still 2 new sleep styles. One of them, we already know, is this Glaceon here. 4,500 Dream Shards just from that one Glaceon. That's good. We desperately need to recover the Dream Shards we spent at the beginning of the week. At first glance, it may look defenseless as it dozes, but look closer. Glaceon completely freezes its fur, making its hair stand out like needles so that it's protected from enemies even while it sleeps. Alright, so what else do we have? Something else that's new. Not finding it. Where are you at? Maybe it's another Glaceon somewhere. Where are you? Oh, that's a big boy. There we go. Intimidating sleep. Another 5,000 Dream Shards from that one. We got the 2-star sleep again. Abomasnow sometimes swings its arms even in its sleep, whipping up blizzards. No consensus has been reached among researchers about whether this is a habit to hide itself or just some sleepy flailing. Can you imagine just casually throwing up blizzards in your sleep? Metapod's hungry. Graveler's hungry. I needed that Glaceon or Abomasnow to be hungry. Those are going to be the tricky ones. Oh, man. All right, well, this is a predicament. We have a pretty solid Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Geodude line. We have a pretty decent Butterfree, Definitely could use the Glaceon, which I'm thinking about taking that Espeon that we had been developing, or the Eevee that we were gonna evolve into Espeon. I've been thinking about changing it to be a Glaceon instead. I'm not 100% sure. It would be nice to have this one if it's good, but I'm not really a big fan of the gamble. I think I'd rather find us an Eevee that's good and then put the time into it to make it good, rather than gambling and spending that many resources to bring home a fully evolved Pokemon that may not be that great. So I think it's kind of a similar story with Abomasnow, but much less points. I think we're just going to feed this Abomasnow the bonus biscuit. And we may just leave it at that, honestly. Yeah, +3. No, I think we can give it maybe a couple more biscuits. And the same with Larvitar as with the Glaceon. We have a really good one, so we don't really need to worry about that one too much right now. If it was hungry, that'd be a different story. But we already have, I think, a 96 or 98% Larvitar. I think I'll give it one more biscuit. It'll probably be full after that, and then we'll wrap it up. I was hoping to at least get a big hit. No, nothing? Interesting. Whatever. I'll give it one more, just to get that first top bar completely filled up, and we'll wrap it up there. And the next time we see it, we should be able to... I can't believe you're still hungry. Next time we see it, we should be able to take it home, but I do want to save a couple of biscuits for the next couple days. We should have some pretty good research, and I don't want to spend them all here. Yeah, I think we go ahead and show off the Abomasnow today. I think that's what we do. Give people some Snover candy, new Pokemon. People need it. That's good. We got 1,700 research XP and 12,256 dream shards. That luck incense definitely helping out quite a bit. So that was definitely the right call to use that luck incense. Now let's go ahead and check. We do have what looks like some new news. Ooh, we've got big new news. All right. So this did actually leak a few days ago. I didn't look at it, so most of this is going to be fresh to me. In all areas, the New Year 2024 event begins at 4 a.m. on Monday, January 1st. Okay. So that's good. The week, not next week, the week after next is when this is going to happen. New Year 2024 is a week-long event to celebrate the beginning of the new year. During the event, you can get 1.5 times the usual sleep XP. Very good. Also, if you track your sleep every day during the event, you can get a total of 2,024 bonus sleep points. So we get a little bonus every day. Good. That's good. That's good. Good. You'll be able to meet Pokemon of different sleep types, regardless of your own, which is standard with all the events. But specifically, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle will be more likely to appear. Interesting. It's easy to let our sleep become inconsistent at this time of year, but we hope you and your helper Pokemon can start off your year with good sleep consistency. We hope you're looking forward to the event. Then it just runs down the actual hours for the days, so we don't need to worry about that. How to progress in the event. Simply tap the sleep button before going to sleep during the event to track your sleep. A variety of event-related effects will be triggered. Event bonuses can be triggered in any area for this event, so you can go to any island you want. Good to know. New Year's Day and the last day of the event will give the sleep XP times 1.5 and bonus sleep points of 512. And then many Pokemon of different sleep types will appear. Certain Pokemon will be more likely to appear. We knew about those. And then on all the other days, we get an extra 200 bonus sleep points each day, plus the 1.5 times XP multiplier, and then the same many balanced sleep type and certain Pokemon more likely to appear. Pokemon that are easier to encounter during the event. During the event period, the following Pokemon are more likely to appear. Greater appearance rate. So these are the main ones. We've got Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Snover, and Abomasnow. Interesting. Very interesting that they're adding the new Pokemon in with the starters. The greater appearance rate for these Pokemon applies only to the separate areas where each Pokemon appears. Okay. So they're not putting them on all islands, it's just boosting the rates of their natural islands. So Green Grass will have all 4 of the starters: Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu. Cyan Beach has Squirtle and Pikachu. Taup Hollow, Charmander. And Snowdrop has Snover and Abomasnow. Cool. So depending on if you're after a specific one, make sure to pick that island for that week. I don't know exactly where we would go for that week. Notes about the event: each day rolls over 4. Event bonuses apply to sleep during the event period. If you want to report sleep data, this is all the standard stuff. I'm not seeing anything that's different. Only receive sleep or bonus points once a day. Makes sense. Event bonuses do not apply during the tutorial, like always, and event bonuses will be triggered regardless of what island you're on. Okay, so we knew that already. And then we also got the bundles being announced at the same time. So let's see. To go along with the event, bundles small, medium, and large will be available starting on New Year's Eve, December 31st at 9 a.m. We've prepared some bundles of items such as Great Biscuits and main skill seeds. Ooh, okay, that's good. So let's check and see what's in them. So for the small bundle, it's 1,200 diamonds. We get 10 biscuits, 10 Poke Biscuits, 7 growth incense. That's pretty good for the event. That'll make it 3 times for the event as well. And then 7 Handy Candy S, and you can only buy 1. Not a bad bundle. The growth incense is pretty good, especially once we get to these later levels where it takes a lot of XP to evolve or level up. That's not terrible. For 1,200 diamonds though, for the small bundle, yikes. I definitely won't be buying that because that's priced out of my budget, but it's not terrible. If you've got the diamonds, not the worst thing. Moving on to the medium bundle, 3,000 diamonds for 18 Great Biscuits. That's a pretty decent trade-off. 10 Poke Biscuits on top of that. That's actually pretty good. A sub-skill seed and 3 Handy Candy M's. Overall, not a terrible bundle. Definitely the biscuits are the main value in there. Also, the sub-skill seed's pretty good. I just don't know what the diamond value of a sub-skill seed is at this point. But overall, not bad. Again, if you got the diamonds, it's not the worst thing you could buy. The large bundle is the interesting one with 5,000 diamonds and 30 Great Biscuits. So 30 Great Biscuits is normally 6,000 diamonds, if I've done my math right, plus a main skill seed, plus a sub skill seed, plus a large Handy Candy. I don't think we've had those in the game yet, so that might be something interesting. And then 2 incense of each Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. That definitely seems to be the best bundle out of the 3 for value for money. So yeah, if I don't have a problem with that one at all. I think that one's actually pretty good. It's at a decent price. That's a pretty solid one. Probably the best bundle out of the 3. So if you got the diamonds, go for it. And then they just run through what the sub and main skill seeds and the growth incense do. I was hoping they would tell us what the Handy Candy L is worth in terms of the trade-in value and how many we would get for using it. Probably 50, maybe 100. But guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, not bad. The event should be pretty interesting. Definitely want to make sure that you have Pokemon with Sleep XP bonus as a sub skill, if not 2 of them on your team that whole week. If you need to level up some Pokemon, that would be a great boon on top of that. So not bad. Looking forward to that event. That ought to be pretty good. Still got to figure out where we're going to go though. But before we get into that, let's jump into this community report and see what you guys have been up to. Only 36 reports. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 doubled. 8 out of 36. That's about 20%-ish, give or take. Not too bad. still sticking close to that 25% mark. So still doing pretty good. And no level ups. Another 686 sneaky snacking. Now, one thing I did yesterday, I did swap Slowbro back on the team. The ingredient magnets just were not giving me the Slowpoke tails. And I feel like Slowbro was at least consistently giving me a few a day. Granted, not enough for me to make the salad every meal, but I would rather have a few a day. Like that was just 5 just from overnight. I'd rather have a few every day than none at all. My lights just flickered. That was weird. Like ingredient magnet just triggered there. Let's see if we even got any tails. Looks like no tails out of all of that. May have been one that snuck in there, but I didn't see any. And that's been the problem. Even with Butterfree proccing ingredient magnet, it's just not been giving me any tails. And that's with, not even to mention the fact that I've had a hard time getting ingredient magnet to proc this week anyway. So yeah, it's been kind of lackluster in terms of stocking up those tails, and I want to make sure that we have enough for Sunday. So that's why I swapped Slowbro back on the team. But let's go ahead and grab our daily gift. 1 Handy Candy S, not too bad. I'll take it. Not the best gift, but by far not the worst. Could have been a Metapod incense, you know. But all right, let's get into breakfast real quick. See, we could make the Slowpoke tail pepper salad now, but I want to make sure. Yeah, no, I don't want to do it now. I want to make sure that we have enough for Sunday to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're going to make something else, but I don't know what. Do we even have the ingredients to make anything else? That's a big yikes-a-roni. So let's see. What do we have? A whole lot of nothing. This is looking like a mixed salad if I've ever seen one. All right, well, let's switch over to our handy dandy meal maker and let's see if we can make something out of this. I don't think we're gonna be able to. No mushrooms, only 2 eggs, 3 apples, 28 herbs. Then Butterfree's letting us down on the tomatoes. I had it on the team hoping it would bring in enough to at least make Snoozy tomato salad as a backup. I don't think we have enough tomatoes. Nope. Let's go ahead and drop that down. We almost had the caprese salad, which I think is one I still haven't made yet. 34 cocoa, 12 tails. Yeah, I know I can make the Slowpoke salad. I don't want to though. 25 oil and 0 honey. Yeah, that's it. It's mixed salad or the tail salad. Yeah. Yikes, that's bad. What can we do? What can we do to fix this? Other than hope that Butterfree got some tomatoes while we were gone, which did not happen. Yeah, that is very not good. And I am out of tickets, I think. Could do a helper whistle. Yeah, let's do a helper whistle. I think that's a good call. Not the most desirable time to use a helper whistle, but hopefully it'll give us what we need to make a decent breakfast. I did see some tomatoes in there, so that's good. That'll put us to Master 8, at least. All right, so let's see what we got. Did we get the tomatoes we need? We got exactly the number of tomatoes we needed, didn't we? Sure did. Well, there's our breakfast. It wasn't the prettiest, but we got it. Let's preview, make sure. Oh, it's still a mixed salad? What did I... Oh, because I need the oil. All right. I don't like using the oil because I want to save that for the slowpoke salad, but gotta do what we gotta do, right? Let's go ahead and throw in this cacao because we're getting plenty of it from Blastoise. And that way we can save the herbs for slowpoke salad. Well, we may have used a helper whistle, but at least we'll get 20 diamonds out of it, right? No extra tasty. That is unfortunate, but still 13,221. Not bad for a first cook. That's about what we were getting for the Snoozy tomato salad. Level 8 already. Not bad at all. But you see what I mean about the ingredient magnets not really helping out all that much this week. They have been kind of lackluster. Another 464 while we were gone. Moo Moo Caprese salad added as a note. Master 8, and I think that was us halfway to Master 9 too. Yep, almost halfway to Master 9, so definitely will be halfway by the time he's done with those berries. But in that case, let's see, how much more do we need? 465,000, only 20,000 more. Yeah, there's no reason we shouldn't be Master 9 by the end of today, provided we can actually get the ingredients to make lunch and dinner properly. So hopefully we'll be at Master 9 tomorrow. Master 10, 90, about 85,000 away. That's going to be a rough one. We might get there, but I don't think we will just yet. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully these ingredients start rolling in a little faster. Otherwise I'm gonna have to change the team again, but we'll just kind of have to see what happens. But that's all I've got for today. Appreciate you watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes.